Hello, everybody. How we all doing today? Getting set up here. Hello, Declan. Hello, Sammy. Hello, Keith. Hello, Atem. Hello, Fernando. Hello, August888. Hello, J Constance. Hello, Claiborne. Hello, Mike. Hello, JC Crypto. Hello, Jeanette. Hello, My Two Cents. Hello, Namaste. 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 Hello, Yaram. Hello, Crypto Data. Hello, Noble One. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Patcan. Hello, David. Hello, Queen Satoshi, my lady. Hello, Mike. Hello, Red Baron. Hello, Loop-de-Loo. How's everybody doing on this lovely Saturday afternoon? Raining where I am. Hope it's nicer out there where you guys are, as we're watching some very interesting Bitcoin price action and some altcoin price action. You're very welcome, Sarah. I appreciate you being a fan. Hello, SS. Hello, Ed Hughes. All right, guys. Remember, you guys can find me on Twitter. I'm at Big Chonis. I'm a cryptocurrency trader, an investor, a mentor, a chart psychologist. I'm also a featured contributor to Bitcoin Live. I also do YouTube broadcasts, as you can see here. Please give me a follow on my YouTube channel. Give me a follow on my Twitter. Love the thumbs up as well. And consider becoming a member of the Bitcoin Live platform. I like putting great quality content on there. And it's just a great overall educational resource as well. And please feel free to reach out to me if you're interested in my one-on-one personalized mentoring. I am scheduling for next week and the week after of January. This is a one-on-one we do on Skype, where you would be able to see my computer screen and ask me questions, everything from basic TA to a little more advanced. This is for traders of all ranges, beginners, mostly beginners or intermediates who just want to get a better sense of classical TA and a better sense of how to use TradingView because it's a great tool, but also going to be a little complicated. As you can see, I like to use many indicators. So let's take a look at them. All right, so let's clean the chart out. I'm on Bitcoin here. I'm on the 5-minute because, just want to see what's going on right now, what's going on in the current guise of Bitcoin's short-term price action here. Now, what do we see here? So this takes us back, what's it, 21 and 21. So we are basically, okay, so this is our day here, right? And what do we see here? Well, we have very low volume, couple spikes. And then about a couple hours ago, about 2 hours ago, we started to see a couple things here. Our volume seems to be increasing, and we're getting a little more activity here as the market's getting a little antsy in what's going on. Whoa, what was that? What was that? And what I'm noticing here is we're starting to see our bear volume begin to step up a little bit here. Now, we've been ranging sideways, right? After we had a little bit of a bull pop yesterday, taking us from the 3.7s all the way up to the high 3.8s. And then we've been kind of just ranging around in this very tight price action here. 38.13, 38.48. So like a $30 range here, basically over the past like 6-7 hours here of price action. So very tight. And what is this doing? Well, it's tightening up our indicators, tightening up our oscillators. It's tightening up our price action, maybe our sphincters, because it seems like the market's on the precipice of potentially a major big move, a bigger move than what we've been used to over the past several days here. in the price action of Bitcoin. So what we're watching here, give me 1 second here. So what we're watching here, and the reason I talk about the volatility that I kind of feel is definitely incoming, it has a lot to do with the tightness of our Bollingers on our daily chart. That's where I like to begin. So I'm going to hide all my indicators, even my volume. Good. Pull this out. Get one hidden there. Good. And this one hidden here too. And we're going to bring up our Bollingers. Now, our daily Bollingers back here were very tight. We had a distance of about $200 here, separation between our upper BB and our lower BB before we broke very, very bearish, which spread out our Bollingers. Fast forward to today, and what I've been saying on my past couple of videos, right, several videos, is what? If we can maintain our middle Bollinger support, I still want to target our upper BB. And until our middle Bollinger support fails, I'm going to have a bullish bias on this next potential of a leg up here. But over the past couple of days of our sideways price action, what do we see happening here? Our Bollingers are tightening. Now they're still pretty wide, 35.26, 4, so we're about $450 separated here. But if we get a couple $100 closer, we get closer to the range where we had seen that volatility really start to kick into high gear. And that was pronounced with several daily candles outside of the lower Bollinger in our major bearish move here. So what does this tell us? Well, as I said, we keep holding our middle, we can have a bullish sense. We close below it, and look how it's held. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the middle BB is held ever since our bull break. We found our lower BB support. We broke through our middle Bollinger. We found very strong upper Bollinger resistance here, here, and here. And we've been riding our middle ever since as we really tighten up here and get closer to what? To a bigger move, to a bigger volatility move. This is where I bring up my volume now, because what are we seeing in the clearest form of our volume? And I just want to focus on, I guess I have to zoom in, right? Yeah, I just want to focus on our volume post bull break, okay? So I just want to focus basically right there. So massive bull volume comes in several days in a row. And ever since our topping area here, a little under 42, we've been putting in a much lower volume profile. And that's been consistent literally every day since the start of the new year. The first was lower than the second, was lower than the third, was lower than the fourth. And today we have 3.5 hours left to go in the day. And we're still putting in another day of potentially of a lower volume profile until proven otherwise. So we're not getting any bull volume, but the bears are not ready to dump just yet because of the supports we've been able to hold. So I want to get rid of my Bollingers for now, and I want to bring in my EMA 12 and my EMA 26. Now on my daily chart, this is still the only EMAs that have yet to bull cross, where my 12 has gone up and into my 26 in a very bullish fashion. We did it on the 1 hour, the 4 hour, the 6 hour, the 12 hour, and we've still yet to do it on the daily, which is leading me to watch for two things. A, the cross itself, which could confirm with volume the extension of a continuation of Bitcoin bullishness, or the deflection rejection, as you would say, where we get close and we reject. We don't bull cross, we actually bear cross. That would obviously coincide, not bear cross, we would basically continue our separation here, not bull cross, which would be bearish amongst itself. And if we spread out again, that would obviously correspond with a bearish break in the price action of Bitcoin. So we have declining volume and we're looking for a breakout, but where's this money coming from? Where's the next push higher coming from? I know where this came from. Okay, this came from a pattern of being extremely oversold on our highest of time frames. Okay, we've had our oversold on our weekly. Um, we were oversold on our monthly RSI. So many indicators were in the depth of areas they had not been since since 2014, 2015. So that gave this move, this correction, I'm still calling it a correction, um, a enough juice to do this. But did we use all our gasoline? Have we used all of our oomph? Have we used all of our energy in this move? And now we're just, well, we're still in a bear market. I mean, we're still in this major downtrend. We might feel comfort in 3,800, but 3,800, well, what was that? 6,400, like Thanksgiving, and then Christmas happened, and then a little holiday cheer here. But we're still like down crazy percentages from not that long ago. So we have to keep all these things into perspective, because even though there's a sense in crypto Twitter right now and in potential setups, we're seeing some nice gains in altcoins because Bitcoin stability allows that to happen. Okay. But we're not out of the woods yet by any means. And we can't get above 4K. We have a high of 42. We have a high of 39. We have a high of 39 lower. And for now, today, we're in the 38s. So we're still putting in lower lows, but we're also putting in higher lows as we tighten our equilibrium here and we get very close to some sort of resolution, you could say, to a lot of this sideways price action. Now, we've seen this kind of sideways chop before. It very much reminds me of this cluster we had back in August. Do you remember this, guys? When it was just this kind of sideways, oh, we're bullish, no, we're bearish, oh, we're bullish, no, we're bearish. We're kind of still holding a nice equilibrium, and then all of a sudden, we were really able to break out, and this tightness expanded. Okay, are we putting something similar here? A little bit, the volume intraday moves weren't as erratic as it was then. But once the clarity of that move played out, there was time for extension. So what are we talking about? Well, we're talking about the bigger pattern and then the littler pattern within the bigger pattern. So let's start with the bigger pattern first. This has been the meme for a couple weeks now. This was basically something that was beginning to form up when we really actually formed up our head officially. And we're still in this right shoulder development, but it's getting kind of funky. It's getting a little funky. We wanted to get a little higher neckline confirmation, but we did. Okay, we got to 42 here. We got to at least the closing candle of this November 29th, 42. We couldn't match the wicks of it, but okay, so I guess I have a comfortable enough neckline here, and we have a comfortable enough left shoulder. Get kind of have a funky head here. I'd like to see more symmetry in this. We don't have it, but it's still a different bottom. Could be kind of a V and a cup, or a inverse, reversed handle, cup, extension, Adam and Eve bottom to create the head. But our right shoulder is getting funky the more sideways we go, because now we're kind of doing this. And now we're starting to get a little funky in this HNS. Now, I know that Litecoin has a much more defined one, and I'll definitely take a look on that in a moment. So this is our overall larger pattern that we're still watching. And, the longer we go sideways for, the less faith I have in this right shoulder. Like, I really do. It's okay-ish now. If we start to really trend up and potentially retest our declining neckline. So if this was our neckline wick and this was our neckline wick, then now we're talking 4,100 would be our right shoulder neckline test, where we could find that, next area potentially of resistance so we can get up there. If we if we break a little bearish here and come back down to the 36s, which is our next area of more or less stronger support, really the bottom of these two candles here, that would again make this right shoulder feel a little more suspect, because this kind of has to be our shoulder blade here. You know, if we go back down to here, 35s, then we're just, again, we're losing the symmetry on our left shoulder already. So this is starting to feel like maybe we can break out from a flag perspective, but I'm starting not to feel as much about this inverse head and shoulders the longer we go sideways. Now, what is the flag I'm talking about? Well, it's this parallel. You know, it's this parallel that we could argue. Let me go to a 6-hour here. There we go. Let's bring this a little higher. Let's bring this guy. Now I'm kind of, let's see here. We get there. Actually, this goes lower. Let's get it really accurate. There we go. And I mean, am I doing that? Yeah, I guess I am. Okay, so I like to do channel trading. It's one of the things I try and focus on sometimes. Defining the channel and sticking with it. When you find middle channel support, you target your upper channel. When you find middle channel resistance, you target your lower channel. And we've been holding our middle channel support for, enough time to bring us once again right to our parallel. Here was our support. Here was our resistance, turn support, resistance, support, resistance once again. So we're watching very intensely, not just to break through, but to break through with definable volume. And even on the 6-hour, we can see this little guy here, this line of volume. It's like our volume line here. It's like our average volume line. And it's the past couple candles here, we just see the decline in volume as we're holding an extremely tight price range here. With 3 hours to go in this 6-hour candle, we get these back-to-back really tight dojis here. Very tight bodies, barely no bodies. And we're setting up for a pairing of some interesting confluence here where we're right at our resistance. Now, let's say this is a flag. This is a beautiful looking, let's just call this a very, very beautiful looking bull flag with a green pole. And, it's subjective, but let's just call it more or less this is the flagpole length. I feel pretty comfortable with that. So depending upon where we break out, if we can do something like this, then that's what we would be targeting. Something getting very close to whatever becomes of our next resistance area, which is somewhere in this, like, just a little bit above 5K, a little bit below 5K area. You can go a little higher here. Oops. Something like that. So this is our length to get us up into this area to potentially retest our next areas here of chart resistance. Oops. But all that has to break the lower low pattern. And right now, this this resistance of lower lows, this consistency of lower lows, right? It's still the name of the game here. Now, with conviction, with a bullish conviction, we should be able to bust through here if the bulls are kind of assert themselves. And getting back to 4K should take us really to 42. Like, if we can touch 4K again and break 4K with a little bit of volume, 42 should definitely be achievable. We see the 4 to 42 here and here, here and here. Big candles here, big wicks. This is free air. This is an area of kind of very limited free air. I bet you the VPVR shows us it would have to be this. So right here, let me go back a little bit. Go back to include this price action here. No, we're not showing it in the long term. We definitely see it in the way the price moves very quickly. I guess I can go to right here. Well, yeah, it declines, but there's still, we see how quickly the price seems to move between $4 and $4,200. So the bullish push to 4K should bring 42 and the neckline of our inverse head and shoulders, which then could be said, okay, maybe this is that, but all that kind of has to happen sooner than later in this nearing of our break, because this is what I mean by this. If we keep hitting this resistance here, and we want to target, then maybe we get back down to our middle channel support, that would put us somewhere back into the 3500s area. And now we're flirting with holding this area here, which gave us this very nice bullish turnaround. Also coincides with resistance, resistance, support. So 3550, 3570 area is major support and confirmed as such. And yeah, this would put past there. So we would actually be finding our middle line here somewhere below this line of major support if we were kind of fall back down here. And if we get back down here, then I'm starting to lose the sense that this is actually a flag and more that we've actually are going back down. I'm not sure we're ready to break out yet. I just don't. And I know there's been some calls for maybe this is, where's my triangle? Some sort of an ascending triangle. Okay, and we can see that. Let me get rid of my flag here for a moment. Okay, are we putting on a defined top yet? Not really. Let me actually deference this lower to here. There we go. There we go. So I'm kind of ignoring the wicks. I'm focusing more on the bodies. I'm on my 6 hour here. And let me get rid of this guy here. Clears it up for you. So we have this interesting ascending triangle, which is normally a bullish pattern, right? You keep bashing at our resistance here. Okay, keep bashing at it, and then at some point, the bulls win because what you're doing is you're putting in higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. But this could also be some sort of a, where am I here? A, B, C, D, E. Did I do that right? Or A, B, C, D, E? Up to down, down to up. Yeah. Where we're going to roll over. Where's my brush? Like this. Maybe we can get up here again and test $3,900. That's where the key is, though. Every time we keep hitting our upper resistance here, okay, you got to watch the volume very closely because this is like that FOMO area. They're going to see if we can get enough people to buy into this and to break this resistance, which I said is like 39 up to 4K. And yeah, if we break this, we should be able to get up to 42 relatively easily because we're breaking this, mind you, with a volume bar that supports the break itself. Until then, we're still putting in lower lows. So let's think of this two ways here, okay? Let's say, hypothetically, in the next day or so, we break bullish. We break through our ascending triangle. We retest our neckline. We hit a little initial resistance, okay? Neckline's at 42, maybe 41 now because we're sloping. Maybe we can battle up to 4,400, which is hard to get through. We see how strong this rejection wick here was. 44.14. Also coincides with this cluster price action. And then we bust through that, right? And we get up here. So all that's a great bullish scenario with massive volume coming through. But it's like, wow, we were at 6K, now we're at 3K, and now we're getting the call all the way back to 5K. It just seems like such an amazing move to get all the way back from 3K to not just, 44 again, but all the way up, to 5K. And that's like a 60% move in Bitcoin. Now, of course, we've done this before. Okay. We've had corrections in the past from our low to our high. Okay. Here's a 24% correction. This one was a little better, right? It was a 45% correction. That was a good move there. And we have this one here in April, which was a 52% correction, okay, of bullishness, okay. And this move here, this correction, still feels a mixture of, it's like a mixture of April and July still, kind of a mixture of the bottoming with the volume, but there's something different about this one. And a lot of it just has to do with this is not the market that this place was. And we are not in this market anymore. We are not in a Bitcoin $7,000 and above. Okay, there's a lot more value in the Bitcoin and the crypto market here. Here is a completely different market. And there's a lot of liquidity here. The volume is rising because the liquidity is there, which means you don't have the amount of held supply, I feel, as you did here, where the capitulation move here was able to release a lot of that supply onto the market. Now the market's trying to deal with all that supply. It's kind of like hungry hippos, eating all the marbles. They released all the marbles, and now we're trying to gobble them up by creating what? Well, creating a base of support, creating potentially an accumulation zone overall. Okay, so let's keep perspective here as we watch every tick by tick, if you will, of the near-term price action in Bitcoin to still remember we're in this massive bear market and past bear markets, okay, which we can only really refer to the last one, 2014, as our most recent indicator of what happens during a bear market, is even if we are in this area, okay, of a bottoming, that time we were in this area for over 10 months before we have that similar situation. So we can't say that we're just going to bust out of this bear market with some big move here. This is going to take months, people, and because of that, you go insane if you dwell on each little move. So our move off the bottom so far on Bitcoin has been nice. We got a 34% move. Altcoins have been able to climb much higher from a percentage standpoint. Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, other alts, Tron, all having really good movements using the Bitcoin stability to allow that bullish continuation. But until the major break and until our volume profile stops declining, okay, then we're just going to keep asking the question is where is this money kind of coming? And do the bulls feel they can get a better value of Bitcoin if they just wait longer and wait for the price to drop lower? All right, so let's move along here. Let me go back to my daily chart. Let's blast through a couple indicators here real quickly here. RSI, clean some of this out. Okay, very tight here. We're right at 50. What do I always say? Above 50, we can range higher. Below 50, we can't. We're right there. Super tight. Super tight. Look at this tight triangle here. Let's get that right there. Okay. Resistance, resistance, resistance. We're getting very close. Watch this to reject or roll. So we're doing one of two things here. We reject and we roll down. We break through and we back test and we rocket. We just rocket. But I think it would be 2 or 3. So it's right. If we break through, we'll have enough time to come back test, and go, probably. But if we break down, we're going to know because we're going to touch our lower support line here. And listen, this could be a buying opportunity with another lower support line test. But that definitely means that we're finding that 50 area as resistance. Previously, 50 has held support and resistance. So I'll continue to watch this line here and see if it holds. Stochastic, daily stochastic. Hello. Listen, we're still mid-cycle. What do we have here? Excuse me. Oops. Oh. So we have, I'm trying to do a trend line. Thank you very much. Oops. Okay, so we have a trend line. We have a higher angle of it. Yep, so I'm kind of ignore my trailing. Sorry, my leading. I'm going to focus on my trailing, my orange one here. So we're holding this trend line of bullishness, but we're just very close. See that? We're just very close to potentially doing a bear cross. We're just holding. We hold separation, we can advance. We cross bearish, and normally we're looking for something like this, where we can cross and then go back through. We crossed, and now we can go back through. So far, this pause and this pause are lining up rather similarly. Very close, right on the edge. And that's what our price action keeps showing us. We're just right on the edge. MACD, now this is interesting because of our length of bullish bars. 34 bars, wow. We haven't been this far in the up. 28 bars, 28 bars. What was this one? Here we go. It was a long one. So 33 bars. So the last time we were this many bars positive was November. So this was basically this was basically Bitcoin's 20K peak. Was the last time we had. Oops. We had this many positive histogram bars in a row. 28, 30. So my point in all this is we are at, oh no, I take that back. That was a negative. So we start here, 28 bars. So we're getting very close to the maximum we are normally bullish on our above histogram. 28 bars, 30 bars. This one seems longer. 33 bars, okay? But once we start getting closer to 30, historically, I'm just going by historics, okay? We tend to flip. We tend to flip bearish. We also see our leading and trailing have slowed their ascent, okay? And they just feel like a little curvy, a little resistance of our zero line. Happened here too, remember? Ranging up and we got knocked down right at our zero line. We're right there again. So nothing confirmed yet. Just very close. Rising and falling. We're rising, but we're slowing our rise. We're slowing our histogram and we're losing our time. Oh, 35. Yeah, and I tweeted this earlier today. I'm sure you guys saw it. Length of bars on our unbalanced volume oscillator, same deal. 19 bars, 16 bars. We're at 18 bars on the positive. So we don't normally last longer than this area, plus or minus a day or two, where we turn the corner. You know? So it would be notable if we buck that trend, but also we tend to get that leg down there. So we're again on the edge of all these time distances where we see time where we're losing momentum, but we're just on the edge of our RSI indicator and other indicators, as well as our overall price action area of support. Real quick here, our weekly candle and weekly chart. This guy closes tomorrow. And wow, we are so close here. So look at that. We are literally, after an entire week, we are literally where we started the week off, almost. And we have a day left to make this and keep this a green candle, maybe even a hammer if you close above $3,900. But we're also on the edge of putting in a lower low too. We closed last week at 38.29. We're only $10 higher than that right now. So for continuation, wouldn't it be nice to see the bulls this week put in a higher low? If we can't put in a higher low this week, after all the sentiment out there, I don't know. So one more day left to make this candle look as interesting as it can be. And the overall still weakness in the weekly RSI, again, just almost a dead stick right at 35. Okay, nice bounce off the bottom for sure. But again, and there's running room here, isn't there, on the weekly? But I don't know. Remember, we did this rollover back in on Bitstamp. It shows it with the 2014 move there. So weekly is still showing indecision. We got running room on our Stoke, but we seem to be losing our Momo. And look, we're getting into an area of previous resistance. And our MACD, look at slowly turning, slowly rising, but this is like a tortoise. So I don't like to believe my MACD on my weekly. And our RLBV oscillator on the weekly is still very bearish here. Hitting once again that area, resistance, resistance, resistance. So we're all hitting these resistance areas on these higher time frames. Let's do a quick TD scan. And I want to start with the monthly. Because we're on a red 6 on the monthly. Green 1 on the weekly. 1 on the 3-day. So we got a green 2 on the 1-day. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because we're above 38.26. So if we close above 38.26, this will remain a green 2. Otherwise, close below 38.26 will be a red 1. And we still hold in this very tight range. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So there's nothing really here on our daily count yet. 12-hour, 1, 2, mid count. So we're still very early in a bullish count. Now the 6-hour, we're on a green 5. And we hit resistance on the last time we hit a green 5 as well on our 6-hour. 5, and then we had a retrace. 5. 4-hour, aha, we're on a green 7. And remember, our 4-hour gave us a good red 9 signal. It was one of the first red 9s on the 4-hour in quite a while. And are we going to go 9 to 9? 9 down, 9 up? 7, 6, 5. So wait, 6, 5, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we close about 38.22 in the next 2 hours. This will be a green 7. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to close above 38.34 for a 9. So for an 8. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, close about 38.45 for a 9. So we have a setup to go at least a couple more candles to complete our 9. And we're still early in this candle here, so let's see if we can do that. So that's our TD count. So we're still mid-cycle to end of cycle on the 4-hour, closing in on end of cycle. Cloud. Yes, the cloud. So this is my 4-hour. And once again, everybody, I have different cloud settings than defaults. 20, 60, 120, 30. That's why my cloud might look a little different than your cloud. So we're continuing to find Tenkan-sen support, and we are finding upper span A resistance. Very tight here, but we're still bullish because we're holding cloud support overall. like we did over here. Interesting. Yeah, 6 hour. Now, 6 hour, we're kind of floating in space here. And this is what is interesting, because a bear break, a little bit of a bear break, would definitely coincide with this support dip down to 37's area, and riding this potentially is down to 3680s, which happens to also correspond with our last area I talked about earlier of that support. Boom. That we really don't want to break. And that literally coincides with our lower cloud support on our 6 hour 3680. 3680 major area not to break. Yeah. 12-hour cloud. We are through it. We had a initial entry, but we had a better confirmation with Tekken Sense support right here, and that allowed us to go higher. And listen, this on the 12-hour potentially suggests, gotta go way out here, don't I? That this could take us a lot higher. We get a lot of running room here on our 12-hour. And this will begin to tighten as the days go on. This is probably as wide as they'll get. And this will get a lot tighter. And this will actually come down a little bit over the next couple days, even if we range a little bit higher. And definitely if we range a little bit lower. So what do we got? We got running on the 12. We're free floating on the 6. We got support on the 4. And our daily, also still seeing Tenkan Sen support right here, could potentially bring us, again, right in line with that $4,200 area of major resistance. So our cloud is lining up again for another test of this area here, the 42, which is again our neckline, or potentially our beginning of our flag confirmation of our breakout there target. So lots of interesting confluence still in the 42 area and support in the 36 area as we still range sideways in Bitcoin. All right, let's take a look in the chat room here and see who has joined us. 189 of my closest friends. Crypto W, Max Win, what's up, buddy? Jay Constant, Ray Ramsey. Let's see here. Holly, hello, Holly. Erasm, Bitcoin Arabic. Dwayne Harrison, what's up, buddy? Hello, Robin. Again, Chris Allen. I think I got everybody. Bruno, hello, Bruno. Deca, Freaky. What's up, guys? Jank, Crypto Squash. Jonah, what's up, guys? Yes, LTC does need attention. All right, so Bitcoin, last thing I want to tackle, Bitcoin longs and shorts. That was requested, and it's always something very important to keep an eye on. Then we will go right to other coins of interest. And actually, we'll take a look at a couple interesting longs and shorts. So longs, Bitcoin shorts. Whoa, interesting. So let me do this. Let me do this. So I'm kind of get rid of my cloud for a moment. I do want to actually bring up my Bollingers, see what extremes we're on here. Oh, interesting. That's why I had a running room. That's why it had a running room. Okay. All right. So listen, this is longs here. And wow, we're blasting through 786, are we? Yeah, we are. So these are our longs. Now notice right here, this candle here, resistance right here, and we've put in a break of that, not ATH, okay? And my daily Bollingers, we all agree, they're still very wide here with a little bit of running room, but not much. I cannot see how longs go that much farther. This is what's, see, shorts are down now, sub 30K. Longs are up 33,000 contracts. Breaking through this 786 up the mountain. Let me close my Bollingers here. What is our down the mountain looking like here? Yeah, so we're even getting very close to the 618 on the down, and we're breaking through the 786 on the up. So all this is telling me the shorts should find some support soon, and the longs should be finding some top off resistance soon. And I feel the longs are getting a little cocky here, you know, a little overextended, and the shorts are kind of allowing themselves a reset of their accelerated RSI, which was just way too high here at 70. And oh, that's interesting. Notice how the RSI right here was support, and now we're right there again. So we're retesting historic daily RSI, what was support before, and we're right there. Even though this is a nasty daily candle here, and the longs look like a pretty good looking daily candle so far. So yeah, longs look like they're still going, and shorts look like they're still dumping. But this is all setting up for running room, or running out of room. I just can't see how longs pump all the way up to 35,000 contracts. I mean, this extension, I mean, would be just nuts or overextended. Or, and listen, yes, you can definitely have a long squeeze. You can definitely have a long squeeze. Now, I want to bring up Litecoin longs, Litecoin shorts. Look how high Litecoin shorts were. Okay, way high. Look at the daily RSI, 82. Okay, now we come way back. Same deal, getting back into an area of historic support, 43. Look at our longs. No bearish divergence yet. Still higher high, higher high. Although this is lagging a little bit in terms of the preference. This should be a little bit higher for the price action that it actually obtained. This is a steeper incline, so a little bit of divergence there. And we're also getting closer to an area of resistance on our Litecoin longs. So we're seeing that longs using this nice move based on the shorts being overbought. And then similarly, we're going to see how low our shorts can fall here. And if they're going to retest potentially, where does this go? This was our historic line. Yeah, this was our old historic top off. Top off. Aha! See that? Resistance, resistance, breakthrough, support. So we could be doing some sort of a support line back test on the second one, or if we can hold like right here, we're then putting in a higher low. I can't see how this goes lower than our support line here. Okay. And I can't see how this goes a lot higher than this area, at least for now. So I'm seeing resistance and support getting close in both areas there. And lastly, I want to do my Ethereum longs and short. This is longs. This is shorts. Got some old artwork here. All right, so look at longs here. Longs, are we ATH? We're totally ATH. No, we're not. We're not. We're not. We're close. We're very close, right? Aha. So we're very close to all-time highs on ETH longs. Look at these wicks here on the daily. Look at this cluster. On the daily time frame, that's actually notable. So we're finding decent resistance here as we approach our all-time high levels on Ethereum longs, excuse me. And then our shorts, yeah, see, our shorts are getting rising too because they're feeling, and they got running room too. Only have 54 on the hourly. What are we here? 65. So yeah, there's shorts are really trying to load this thing now, and longs are finding a hard time to get above it. And that's pretty much why we're hitting that resistance still in the high 150s. And I would say the longs are a little overextended, and the shorts are. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, they've been loading this thing for 7 days now, so they've actually been loading and potentially holding and adding to basically adding to their positions here, and have yet to be liquidated, more or less. This one was probably a decent liquidation here from yesterday's move, but now we can see that shorts are accelerating into Ethereum. So we have short contracts really pumping now into Ethereum, trying to short Ethereum. Okay, so let's. We did. Wow, we're flying through this thing, aren't we? All right. Thank you for your patience. Let's look at what do you say, Ethereum or Litecoin? Ethereum or Litecoin? Let's look at Litecoin. Okay. Now, we talked earlier about the inverse head and shoulder on Bitcoin and how it was kind of clunky. Okay. The Litecoin one is actually kind of beautiful. It's a lot more symmetric. It has much more cleaner symmetry here. Where are we here? No, this one. Head and shoulders. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, very clean. Okay, we like this volume bar, and we like today's price action was nice. What did we get? What did we get in this thing here? Yeah, it was a good move there. A 12% move in the past 2 days, about a 16% move. Very nice 2 days here in the price action of Litecoin. And listen, let's play some what ifs. So what if we complete our head and shoulders bullishly? Then where are we targeting? And we are targeting somewhere around $48, which coincides with these support areas right here. So we're talking about candle support becoming resistance, and now wanting to be back tested with a completion of our inverse head and shoulders bullishly. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen in one candle, okay? If it does happen, we have some pretty free air, right? Because of this guy here. So we can probably go pretty quick here, chop it up when we get closer to 40, break the 40, and then try and get something like here. That's our best case bull scenario until we actually hit major resistance. Let's call it sub 50, you know? Excuse me, let me get some more drink here. And what we're seeing, okay, so this is our bullish scenario of Bitcoin, of Litecoin. We complete our inverse head and shoulders. We bust through our neckline with conviction. Remember, a neckline is there for a reason, because it's resistance, right? We got stopped here at $36. We got stopped here at 36 and change. And today, so far, we've got stopped at 36 and a halfpenny. So the neckline holds until proven otherwise. And if it breaks, we should be able to go from 36 to, I'd say, 40 relatively easily because of this candle here. Looks like it's free air or freer air. And yeah, the BPVR is very clear with this one. That this gap here, see that right here, coincides with a rush to $40, and then the chop to 44 can easily bring us to 47 to 48 because of this very limited lack of money flow here. And we know that because our candles tell us this. Quick dump, quick dump. So as easy as we fell through here on a bullish move, we can rise up into it as well. So we have defined areas of resistance. Now, what are our percentage moves here from our neckline to, I'd say, 40? Let's call it 40 even from a psychological standpoint as a major resistance. So there's another 11% move there. And then a full break of our neckline extension is another 30% move here. So there could be another 30% move bullishly in Litecoin with the completion of this inverse head and shoulders. But that also coincides with moonshine on the rocks, whiskey. No, I'm doing wine today, actually. Well, wine in a little bit. The football's starting soon. All right, I got to finish up soon. But I'm drinking Malbec. I love Malbec. So that's what we're watching for. We're watching for that. Now let's look at some other indicators of Litecoin and see where we're at. We're at a very bullish 59, but what happened last time? What happened last time we got to 59? We hit rejection at 60. We hit rejection at 58. Okay, at 57. So we're in a cluster of RSI daily historic resistance where bullish moves go to die. Now, if we can break 60, then we can target 66. Okay. But for now, and literally since August, September, every bullish move in Litecoin, RSI wise, has died as it got closer to 60. And once again, we're here. So it would be an enormous bullish move breaking us through here and into our move. And if we break our neckline and start to retest those bullish areas, we're talking about a daily RSI approaching 70 or above. Honestly, something a little more. Remember, this was our parabolic move here. This was Litecoin at $400, somewhere around here. So obviously we have a ways to go, but keep this in mind, we're fighting historic resistance in the RSI zone. We're flirting in the middle zone here of our Stoch. Not much to say there, although we are bullish and ranging higher. MACD has a much more bullish profile than Bitcoin did. It broke above. Still spread out here using that bull cross continuation. And we're finding a higher histogram. We're rolling up on our histogram. But similarly, as I did with Bitcoin, how long have we been doing a positive histogram? 23 bars. How does that compare to histograms of past? Boom. So July, we had a 30-bar bullish histogram. September, August, we had an 18-bar bullish histogram. April, our big April bullishness, 31 bars. This is daily, okay? And we're at 23 here. So what does this tell us? Well, it tells us we could have some running room. We could have potentially another week, another 6 more bars or so of positive histogram. Now remember, we can have negative days and still have a positive histogram. I'm sure day 30 here, okay, and 29 and 28 were not the best bullish days in the price action of Litecoin. So just because we're holding above doesn't necessarily mean we're bullish during these times. Either way, we're getting close to the end of the runway of our normal bullish movements here. And we have our daily OBV oscillator on the up once again. Little peak there. We got a couple peaks here normally before we fall back down. We do a little triple peak. So still a ways to go here to confirm any differential of time. But still, Litecoin has been most bullish. It was also the first one to break out. And it's been a leader telling us kind of the direction of the potential market. So it's had its bullish move, but is it just catching up to Bitcoin's move it had, or is it just actually telling us that this is what's going to happen to Bitcoin next? Because this move in Litecoin at neckline reapproach is an equivalent to Bitcoin at $4,200, right? So that's Litecoin. I want to just do really quickly here, blast through this really fast. Weekly candle, very good looking candle here, bullish engulfing. Not bad volume, not the best, not the worst. Still another day left. Nice lower wick here. Let's keep the bullish engulfing. A close above $33. If we close below $33, let's just close above $33. If we close above $33, I could see some more bullish continuation. Definitely. And again, it's an altcoin, so whatever Bitcoin says, Litecoin will do. Real quick here. Also, yeah, listen, I love this. It also gave us a beautiful perfected 9 here. Okay. Followed up with a very tight doji here. Little long lower wick doji. And then boom. Great pattern candle setup here. That's a cool way the TD works. And the monthly chart is still too early in the month, and we don't have a count on it yet. That's weird. I don't know what's up with that. 12-hour, we're on a green 2. And look at this volume staircase. Really nice the past 12 hours. You really saw it begin to load up. And there's our continuation there. Nice volume profile. 2 hours to go. Let's keep this green. Let's keep this candle green. Red would be 33.90 or below. Then this would be a little scary. But for now, looking really good. 6 hour, we're on a green 6, okay, which means potentially another day and a half. Oh wait, maybe about 3/4 of a day left until we hit a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got some running room too to complete our 9 as well on our 6 hour. And let's go down to 4 hour. And 4 hour, it's an interesting candle here on the 4 hour. Similar, look at that volume, like equal volume, very tight doji candle here. I mean, this is a bearish candle to me right here. Very tight right there, but I don't know, that's a little scary there. And we came to be, so 6, 5, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we have some running room to keep this count active as well. So that's Litecoin leading the way, still the most bullish and the most cleanest inverse head and shoulders. And but this might take still some time, maybe another day or two to play out. And I wouldn't be super surprised of a retrace back to 33 to build up a little bit more momentum. Maybe we can flag a little bit there. All right, I'm over an hour, and I want to go to Ethereum, which we will close the day with Ethereum, because I think a lot of this price action is being done with the sense that this fork in Ethereum, which is happening still like 11 days from now, 10, 11 days from now, I think it's on the 16th, is kind of what's driving a lot of this bullish price action. And listen, Ethereum, I think Bitcoin Cash was by far the best percentage winner. But I mean, Ethereum gave you 100% move from its lows, wasn't it? We were at 88. There it is, 100% on the dot. So wow, great, right? So am I buying into 100% move in the 2 weeks? We go up 100% in 2 weeks. I'm buying into that. I mean, I don't know. Why do I say this kind of hesitation? It's because, again, our volume is strong, slightly declining, but strong. We have to note we are on an 8 on our daily. It's by far our highest count so far. And we did hit an 8 the last time, which we actually found our resistance candle before finding a little correction and continuation. Our current daily candle, still a little too early, 2.5 hours to go. Our wick here is only like $4. So I hesitate to call this an upper wick. But the formation of this candle will be very important. If we get something like, I mean, let's look at other top. I mean, something like this would be really bad. I'm almost looking for just a really tight body with a little upper wick. See if I can find an example of it. Yeah, something like this. This this one right here, or this three right here. You know, red body, little upper wick. You know, and only we have to close like a couple dollars lower for that to happen. So we're still putting in a higher low. Okay, we're still holding in a bullish posture, but I think we're extended. And I'm a little fearful of how high we are above my EMAs. You know, how high we were above here. We came back down, found them as support. Once again, we're kind of high. And like we found support here on our 26, my purple line, maybe we can find support there once again with a little bit of a correction somewhere down to the 130s. I still feel this is going to come back down one more time before potentially one more pump before the fork. I also want to note, nope, did that wrong. Hold on here. Let me get rid of my TD for just a second here. I also want to note that since our top off here and our bottom, and as we slowly climb up the mountain, we are hitting our resistance right here at the 55% ratio up the mountain here. And that 168 area, which also coincides with our 618 Fibonacci, also coincides with this area of our next area of price chop and resistance. So any bullish push from here tackles some near-term resistance between, let's say, 168 to as high as 174. And that gives us just about another maybe 7 to 8% move before that major resistance, as well as our 61.8 fib, is attained. So bullish, yes, but still running room. It feels limited. You know, it feels limited. But there is precedence for another little pop, just to sub 170, maybe. uh, One second here. Okay, so what do we know? You know, Ethereum's RSI is putting in this this leading diagonal here, which is a bearish pattern, and we're just holding it. And yeah, this is from my last class, but you can see how as we range in our tight support, how breaking through this support will fall us through, and how we're getting very tight here. Now, this does not mean we can do one more touch bullishly of our upper line of resistance here, and that would probably correspond with that 168 to 170 top off. So everything about Ethereum suggests there could be a little bit more running room left in this move, but I'm waiting for a better entry for another pop. And if it moves here to 168, I think there'll be a lot of people in this area wanting to potentially short if we get up here. And we got to note lastly here, our overall log scale trend resistance line. Resistance, that could still take us bullishly. Come on, ellipse. There we go. In the days ahead, somewhere in this zone, maybe testing this area. And again, that puts us right in our 170 area. So a lot about this major resistance line is also something I'm going to keep an eye on as we stopped here, and it could represent another area where the price tackles it and gets rejected. But if it happens fast, it would be in the 180s. If it happens later in the month or into February, It could be a lot lower. Okay, so it's hard to get more advanced in a pattern like this until I see a more meaningful pullback. I'm not going to chase. I'm going to be smart with my trading plans, my risk versus reward. Okay, if I miss the big move, I'm not going to chase the big move. You know, I like Litecoin, but I don't really want to get in right now. I'd like to get in a little bit lower, maybe, and see if we can reconfirm our neckline. I normally don't like to expect our neckline break on the first attempt. That's why we're kind of hitting this resistance for now. And if it goes, then, you know, okay, I'll get the next one. It's fine. Crypto, as we know, is 24-hour 365. It never ends. There's always opportunities. And if you miss the move, if you miss a good opportunity, you learn from it, be patient, and just play the next one, because there'll always be a next one. There'll always be an opportunity to play an oversold conditions or overbought conditions. And crypto, the volatility of it gives us all our chances to do just that. Let's go back to Bitcoin, do one last check on Bitcoin. One last shout out to my friends who have joined me for this hour on a Saturday. And then we will call it a show. Let's go 15-minute. Take this tight. Get rid of this guy. And yes, remember when we started the show? It was this candle here. We were down here, 38.24. And we held our higher low, even with this bear volume there, okay? But we're just getting so tight here. We're getting so tight. I almost want to draw a parallel, right? Look at that. Getting so tight. Resistance, 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 support, support, support. And we're right there. So keep an eye on this near-term channel we're in. Okay? Don't FOMO until we break with volume. Even for the 15-minute, this volume, well, this is interesting here because we have these ebbs and flows of volumes. This is still decent volume here. There's money here. The bears don't want to give this up. The bulls don't want to give this up. And our candles are very tight. So we're going to see fireworks soon. There's also this maintenance on Bitfinex next week that could actually be very interesting in terms of people keeping their positions in check. And that's something that we need to keep an eye on. All right, guys. 158 of you stay with me this entire hour and 15 minutes. Wow. I'm so happy. We peaked at 194 viewers. That's great for a Saturday. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this work. If you enjoyed spending your time with me, please reach out to me if you have interest in my online personalized mentoring discussions. Please follow me on Twitter. Please follow me on YouTube. Please consider becoming a member of Bitcoin Live. And until next time, I will keep you guys posted. Anything crazy happens the next few hours or the next few days, well, next few hours at least, or this weekend, I guess we'll say. Maybe I'll come back live if anything happens nutsy. But until then, thank you for watching. Big Chonis. Peace.